What's going on, guys? Tommy back here again, talking sports, wearing shorts. You know the deal. It's been a little while. I've been off for about a week. I've been on holiday, just cruising, just chilling, kicking up, just easy vibes, mate. Just taking a little bit of time. You need a bit of time every now and then. You need a little bit to relax. But we are back, and you know the drill. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you are new. Make sure you're keeping up to date with all our socials, Instagram, Twitch, Spotify, for the weekly podcast. You know the deal by now. All the links are in the description below. But all that good stuff's out of the way. So let's jump right in. What are we going to talk about today? Well, if you've seen on the news, this little guy right here, this little Egyptian king, a little bit of interesting stuff right now. A little bit of interesting stuff. Rejected, well, not so much rejected a new contract offer, but there's been no progress on the contract talk with Mohamed Salah. Apparently, Liverpool had offered 120. Well, sorry, Mohamed Salah wants 120,000 more than Virgil van Dijk, who is the highest paid earner at Liverpool. And apparently, there's some reluctance at the moment from FSG. They don't want to break their wage structure. And I got to admit, I'm not entirely fucking shocked by that one because they just let Sadio Mane walk out the door. So we know that they don't like spending the cash. Anyway, we're going to break this one down, guys. We're going to talk about what this means for Liverpool. Will Salah go? Will he re-sign? The potential replacements. There's been some talk about some potential replacements. So we're going to jump right into it. So let's get into it. So Mo Salah, my man, the Egyptian king. I got him up here. Got him up here for a reason. One of the best players I've ever seen in a Liverpool shirt. Absolutely amazing. He's been on fire since day one. We know the drill. We know what Mo is. Everybody that watches football knows how good Mo is. And everybody that watches football will be thinking, Liverpool, you can't fucking let this guy go. You better pull your finger out and get him signed up. And I'm totally with you. I'm on that side. I'm on the side of Liverpool should be doing all they can to re-sign Mo Salah. I think he's a guy that transcends football. He's one of these guys that he always plays. He's never injured. He's consistent. He's always going to score you goals. He's dangerous. He's threatening. He's quick. He's everything that you want. Any club in world football would want Mo Salah. And if you've got him at your disposal, you definitely need to do all you can to keep him, especially if you are a Liverpool fan like myself. You want players like this to stay at your club, particularly with the likes of Mane leaving. Now, I know we got Luis Diaz, who looks like an absolute weapon. He's going to be a star in the foreseeable future if he's not one already. But Mo, you've got to do all you can to keep him. That's what I feel in my heart. And that's what a lot of Liverpool fans are probably feeling in their heart. However, I'm going to play devil's advocate. And the reason I feel that Liverpool are being so reluctant is because obviously the wage structure that FSG have. We know the deal. We've known this from the start. They're not going to change. I think FSG have a sort of cap with their wage structure. It's almost like a salary cap in a way. They only go to a certain amount and then they don't go anymore. We know why, because they like to keep players all under the same amount. They don't want to have these ridiculous contracts like Man United, PSG, Real Madrid have, where you have one player on 400,000 or another player on 500, and then you just can't afford to have the best players at your club. So the reason why Liverpool have been so successful in these last coming years under Klopp is because they've been able to keep all these players. And if you had paid, let's just use example, Van Dijk, 400,000 years ago, one, you probably wouldn't have kept Mo or Mane in the first place because they would have been upset and they would have left because they felt like they wanted that money. And then it separates the harmony in the squad. They've kept it all in line, all in check for good reason. However, we're now at a point where Mo is so good, he deserves the 400 grand or 350 grand or whatever his asking price is. I mean, there's nothing really concrete and clear about it. Nobody really knows what he's asking for. I'm going to say it's probably 350, which again isn't out of the realms, I don't think. I think he can command that. He deserves it. But Liverpool doesn't look like they're going to pull that trigger, and which makes me a little bit nervous. I think that they're running the potential of letting him go now. And if you don't sell him, you can't let someone like that walk and not make a return. So there's going to be an interesting period here. I've seen the reports in another winger from Porto, Otavio or Octavio, or however you pronounce it. I might be pronouncing it wrong. But apparently Liverpool are interested in him. 35 million bid apparently is what Porto are wanting. So, but he's 27 years old, so it's a little bit, he's not exactly young. So interesting type of buy. Now, I'm not entirely sure if this is a direct replacement for Mo or if it's just added squad depth again, because obviously they've let Mane go. So they need to have another winger in the disposal so that they can throw around, because obviously you've got Nunez and Jota. You're going to have Diaz, but there's no one really on that left side now to replace Diaz if he gets injured or whatever, and there's no one really on the right. I know Liverpool got some youngsters and Kane Corden and all that, but there's no one really on the right that's a high-level player. So I don't know if this is just squad depth or if this is Liverpool looking to replace Mo. I think that is insanity. They can't let that happen. They can't let that happen. Another one I wanted to touch on, but just quickly before we go. Now, I may have touched on this in my last video, but I want to touch on it again because it's making real proper rounds right now. Some really reliable people are talking about it, so I think it's got a little bit of substance here. Fabrizio Romano, he mentioned it, and I think this one, look, it's amazing if Liverpool can get this one over the line. This changes the landscape for me. Now, I don't think it's going to be this year, but it's more looking like next year Liverpool are going to pull the trigger on Jude Bellingham. They're going to try all they can to get him. Personally, if it was me, I'd be doing it this year. Like, you don't want to let things go. You don't want to leave another year. You don't know what our season's going to have. We might not finish, top 2, top 3. You don't know. You just don't know in football. We might not have a good year in the Champions League. You never know. So I'd be doing it now, but I think Liverpool are a bit cash-strapped, and I don't think Dortmund are going to sell 2 of their best players in the same window, so that's looking like it might not happen. But if Liverpool can somehow package a deal like they did for Naby Keita, they paid a premium price the summer before. He stayed another year at RB Leipzig, and then he came to Liverpool. So that might happen with Jude Bellingham. I'm not entirely sure. But Liverpool got some options. It's looking like he's their number one midfielder that they want to get. I think everybody knows that Liverpool need another midfielder with the likes of James Milner getting a little bit older. Jordan Henderson's obviously on the downward age, if you like to say. He's on the middle age of 30. So you need some fresh legs in there. Obviously, Thiago's a bit older as well. Fabinho's still okay, but Liverpool needs some fresh legs. I mean, Curtis Jones is still young, but he hasn't really hit the heights yet. Oxlade-Chamberlain's not the player he used to be. And then it remains to be seen what Fabio Carvalho and Harvey Elliott are going to do. So they do need another option, I believe, in there. That's a bit of a box-to-box. So they should be going for him. But who knows? We'll see what happens. I think they might go for him next year, and that would be fantastic. Anyway, guys, just a quick video to wrap this one up. Just want to touch on the Mo Salah contract update, and obviously Liverpool going for Otavio or Otavio. Again, however you pronounce it. I probably brutally fucking ruined that. So if I have, hit me up in the comments. But regardless, just want to touch on that and what Liverpool are up to. It's a little bit interesting right now. I'm getting a little worried. Mo hasn't signed anything. I'm getting a little worried. Anyway, that wraps it up, guys. Make sure you do all the good stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. If you are new, hit the notification bell. As always, links to all our socials in the description below. Make sure you check out the weekly podcast. And as usual, guys, I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.